Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn the weaving method of hydrangea flowers. First, let's take a look. The flower consists of two parts, the flower and the leaf. First, let's see what materials we need. First, we need yarn. I used Shengtang 5 shares milk cotton yarn for the leaves. I used Shufire 5 shares milk cotton yarn for the flowers. We can match the colors according to our preferences. Scissors. The crochet hook is a 2 surgical tight hook. Eggplant. Used in assembly. Aqua Kua. Stemvia needed for leaves. Also, the flower stem used in assembly. Our flowers are assembled individually and then connected together. This is our finished leaf product. The fixed wire we need for assembly. Glue gun. If there is no glue gun, we use this glue strip. Next, let's learn the weaving method together. First, let's take a look at the weaving method of this flower. I use purple thread for demonstration. We take out a piece of thread, wrap it around the index finger twice. Take off the loop. Thread the hook through the loop. We pull out 2 braiding needles inside the loop. Wrap the thread out. After hooking the 2 braiding needles properly, we wrap the thread and hook a long needle. There are 3 loops on top. First, wrap the thread and pull out 2. Wrap the wire around and bring out 2. Next, we hook a long needle. Wrap the wire twice. Pass through the loop. There are 4 loops on top. We bring out 2 loops, one by one. Next, we make 2 braiding needles stand up. After the braiding needles are in place, when we hook the last 2 loops in front, pass through those 2 loops, wrap the wire, and bring it out directly. Next, we hook a long needle. Wrap the wire twice and pass through the loop. Bring out 2 loops, one by one. Next, hook a long needle. Wrap the wire once and pass through the loop. Bring out 2 loops. Wrap one more time. Next, make 2 braiding needles stand up. Pass through the loop. Wrap the wire and bring it out. Hook a pulling needle. This is a petal hooking method. We need to do this within this circle. Hook 4 petals. Next, make a braiding needle stand up. Repeat the hooking method of the first petal. After the braiding needle is in place, we continue to hook a long needle. Next, a long needle. Next, hook 2 braid needles. After hooking the long needle, we then hook another long needle, and the first petal is hooked in the same way. We have 2 petals left. We hook them all. I have hooked the remaining 2 petals. We only need the last 2 braid needles. Two braid needles. Hook a draw needle inside this loop. At this point, we directly pull the thread out. We can see, yes, there are 2 loops here. One loop is obviously shorter. At this point, on the thread end, pull the shortened loop. Pull until it tightens. Pull the thread end again. This completes the weaving method of the flower. And next, let's take a look at the weaving method of the leaf, in order for everyone to see clearly. The needle count of the weaving method. I used light green yarn for demonstration. Before hooking the leaves, we need to prepare a shaping strip. Pick up the yarn and fpsc. Let's tie a knot first. Let's start with 15 braid needles. I wrap the thread to form one. After hooking 15 braid needles, insert half of the first braid needle. Insert the outer half. At this point, we need to place the shaping strip above the yarn. When the yarn is wrapped around the hook needle, it needs to cover the shaping strip. We reverse the shaping strip. Use your fingers to secure it. We hook a short needle for the first stitch. The second needle wraps the thread with a medium-long stitch. Pass through the stitch. There are 3 loops on top. Wrap the thread out. For the next stitch, we hook a long needle. The long needle needs to skip 2 loops. When hooking the leaves, pay attention to the shaping strip. When we pass through the needle, the thread must go around the back of the shaping strip. Wrap around to the front. Do not go around the shaping strip. We can only wrap the thread from the back. Next, we need to hook the long needle. Hook to the position of the last 3 stitches. For the repeated part, Let's speed up to complete it. We hook to the back, where there are 3 more braid stitches. We wrap the thread to hook a medium length needle. Bring out 3 loops at once. At the next stitch, we hook a short needle. At the last stitch, we fold the shaping strip. At the last stitch, we need to hook 3 short needles. We correspondingly complete the remaining half with our method. We correspondingly hook back to a short needle. We pass through the corresponding stitch of the short needle. We complete it within the same stitch. We need to find the stitch of the previously hooked short needle. We also hook a short needle. Coming back, the second stitch is a medium length needle. We pass through the corresponding stitch. Next, this part is all unchanged, all long needles. We have all checked it off. We have already checked off this part that repeats. Next there are 2 stitches left, and we check off a medium long stitch, 1 short stitch. At this point, we pass to the opposite side. Start the next round by passing through the first stitch. On the opposite side, we pass through the first stitch and start the next round. At this point, we need to take out this wire. Pull it out from the top here. We add a shaping strip in front to make the pattern of the first round look better. Shape it more. We add the shaping strip again when we reach the second round. We are all using short stitches. We keep stitching until we reach the middle position, where we added stitches in front. When we reach this middle position, it is where we added stitches in front. The second stitch in the middle of the 3 stitches. We find this position. Fold the shaping strip in half. At this stitch, we need to check off 2 short stitches. After adding stitches to this stitch, each stitch after this will be 1 stitch, checked off for 1 short stitch. After we check off the remaining short stitch, we start the third round of stitching at the position of passing through the first stitch. We loop around and pull a draw needle directly across. After we hook the draw needle, we set 2 short needles. Set 2 braid needles. Wrap the thread and bring out 1 or 2. Hook a short needle in the next stitch. Repeat the same method. We set 2 braid needles. Hook a short needle in the next stitch. We finish hooking this round with the same method. After I have finished hooking all the stitches in this round, when we reach the first stitch, pass the yarn through and wrap around from the back of the shaping strip. Directly pull out and hook a draw needle. Cut the thread. Here, adjust the shape of this sleeve. Wrap the remaining thread around the shaping strip. The remaining thread can be wrapped around this shaping strip. First wrap it to fix it in place. We finish hooking all the leaves for later use. Next, let's take a look at the assembly. We need to use this shaping strip and a glue gun. We take out the flowers. We see that one side with a more chaotic pattern is the back. The clearer side is the front. We use the shaping wire on the back side. Find the horizontal pattern. Pick up a small section of the pattern at random, then flip the piece to the other side. Also pick up a small section of the line in the same way. Fold again. We need to use this eggplant to merge the wire together. Pull the end of the thread together with the shaping wire. Beam it slightly. At this point, we need to wrap it with green yarn. Take the green yarn and leave a short end. Secure it with the shaping wire. Start wrapping again. Start wrapping this flower stem. Cover the remaining yarn completely. Tighten slightly while wrapping. We need to wrap to almost the base of this flower stem. We can use this yarn to secure it behind the wire. Cut off the end of the thread. We assemble all the flowers like this. After assembling all the small flowers,